And good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are, or afternoon, I should say. At any rate, we are back, you guys. As always, we are streaming. Obviously, we're going to be starting our stream with an arena. It is Monday, so it's the start of a new week. So we're going to be doing an arena, playing some variants, playing some bots, all the usual good stuff coming on. Luca bot is 29-21. Yes, you guys, I did see that. I will, of course, be playing against Luca bot a little bit later on as well. We're seeing low music, loud intro, or I'm loud on the microphone. Okay, sorry. I was listening to the audio and I just got jump scared. Sorry about that, you guys. But I think it's pretty good. So thank you so much to Carolina Mike for the 19th. Thank you to Margro for the Prime. Thank you so much to Crusading Distance for the 10-month reset. Thank you to KCL Dragoslim for the 4 months. Thank you to IWYZBR for the Prime, Nova Bubbles for the Prime, Ilmonko with the tier 1, and PI9T with the Prime. Thank you so much. New shirt? No, it's not a new shirt, you guys. I've had this shirt for a while. I bought this shirt when I was in California. So yeah, it's a pretty classic shirt at this point. Thank you so much to Zachary for the tier 1 as well. Thank you so much to Zachary. How are you doing? I'm doing great, you guys. I'm doing great. Did I research the Turkish Gambit? No, I did not research that. No, so we're gonna be doing an arena. We have Reddit React. We're gonna play variants, play some blitz, all the usual good stuff, as I said before. I wish having life scared out of you wasn't just an expression. Okay. Why do I have the Austrian flag? Because for our bot speed run, I'm doing that with the Austrian flag as an ode to the greatest governor in the United States, Arnold Schwarzenegger, or former governor, I should say. So that's the reason. Thank you so much to Mark Meach for 23. Thank you, G this stuff for the 27. Of course, everybody knows about Terminator series. Thank you so much to Drake Candy for the 10 months as well. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah. Anyway, you guys. Anyway, starting in 6 minutes, I'll just talk to you guys, chill until we begin. Is it rated? Yeah, it is rated, which is why, of course, I use the second account, GMHikaru, on Twitch. My rating here is pretty high. We want the 9-1 Naroditsky video. That will be on YouTube in the near future. I don't know how soon it will be up. Also, for everybody in the chat who's wondering, if you do miss the stream or you miss parts of the stream and you do want to go back and watch it, most of the VODs will be on our second YouTube channel, more GMHikaru. So if you are wondering about VODs and things like that aren't published here on Twitch, you can obviously go and watch it on YouTube if you do have some extra spare time. What is the club name? It is this is the Hikaru fan club. That's what it is. So yeah, morning Hikaru, nice shirt. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Yeah, just waking up. It's a little bit slow this morning, but it's all good. So anyway, thank you for your content, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to It's Arpan. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Thank you. There's very little on more GMHikaru. While we are uploading VODs, it's not necessarily day to day. We don't upload it. I mean, obviously instantly we've got a lot of content we put there too, but that's where you will find some of the VODs. Thank you to YX Kostrelski for the tier 1. Thank you so much. But the 9-1 match against Daniel will be up on the main channel in the near future. I just don't know when exactly. Like every other GM only wakes up late. I am a bit of a chameleon, you guys. I can there's no video every day, of course, on more GMHikaru as well. But what I was gonna say is that I'm a bit of a chameleon. I can wake up really early. I can also wake up really late. But yes, most grandmasters, the strong ones, they wake up a little bit on the later side. Play. We're starting in 4 minutes, you guys. As you can see at the top of this arena, it says 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Very nice number, of course. So once again, yeah, if you just click the link, I join the club, you should be able to join the club, and then you go back to chess.com/play and you can join the event. Yes. So anyway, watching your stream makes my day. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, I feel like GMs are lazy. I don't know about lazy, but GMs generally wake up late. I know this from a secondhand story, but basically Vladimir Kramnik, I know that at some point I heard the story that basically he thought that if every game started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, ranked games that is, he would be much stronger than his actual rating. I know Magnus feels like the later he plays as well, the better it is for him. So there are quite a few GMs who, when they who do wake up very late and they prefer to play later in the day. I'm quite on the opposite end of the spectrum. Obviously I have a real job as a streamer. I can't be a lazy bum who just hits this click every second looking with a stupid chess program to memorize lines. So I do wake up in the mornings generally, and I'm a little bit different, but very few of the top GMs are morning people. Maybe Wesley So I think is also a morning person. I think Vishinath can be a morning person, but that's about it. Everybody else I think is a night owl. They're the only other two guys who I think actually wake up in the mornings. So yeah, that's just a little bit I'll add. Thank you so much to Charlotte Chet Center for the 29 months. Thank you so much to Mr. Peter Giannatos. I believe that's Peter. It could be Dania, it could be Dominique, any number of people, but assuming that's Peter, thank you so much for the 29-month resub. Make sure to, of course, check out the Charlotte Chet Center. They do have, I think, norm turns pretty much every single month. Hashtag not an ad. But if you are trying to get norms and go for titles within the United States of America and hoping not to have to travel outside the country like yours truly did many years ago, definitely check it out. They do have, I think they have norm turns every single month, so it's all good. Do you work out every day? I've been running a little bit lately. Of course, I'm in Florida, so there's no such thing as winter here, so it's always nice and toasty and warm, which is great for going outside. So, yep. I think Nihal wakes up in the morning. Well, I'm talking about the top gems that I've seen at many tournaments over the last like decade or so. And the thing is, like, sometimes I do wake up early and go to the breakfast. Normally the players are put up in a reasonably nice hotel with like a breakfast buffet or a continental breakfast or something. And the only players that I think I've seen at a breakfast before like 9 o'clock, when everyone's not like jet lagged out of their mind, I'm pretty sure it's only Vichy and Wesley. Pretty sure those are the only two that I've ever seen. Thank you so much to Athikos for the tier 1. Thank you so much to Athikos. Appreciate it. Fabiano, I mean, I'm sure I've seen him, but not on the early side. At like 10, 30, 11, everybody's generally awake. If you're around at like 1 or 2, but at 9 or before 9, the only people I think I've ever seen are Vichy and Wesley. That's it. Nobody else. So, all right, starting at 1:30, we're going to be playing in our arena. That's what we're doing. Do you guys eat together? Well, like I said, it's not that you eat together, but it's just normally there's like a buffet, because obviously you're all staying in the same hotel, unless you're actually rich like Magnus Carlsen, in which case sometimes you don't stay in the same hotel. But for most top players, yeah, you end up in the same hotel. So like for breakfast, at least, because it's usually a buffet, you do see people. So that's generally how it goes. Yeah. All right. So starting at 56 seconds, we're going to be doing our arena. If you win, I will play against you. It's potentially possible. Yeah. Naka, you are rich. Well, contrary to popular opinion, I am not worth $50 million, even though some newspapers felt like making up that story in an article. Thank you so much, Lug Alma, for the prime. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. You don't need to have $50 million to be rich. Well, you guys, I mean, just ask Asmund Gold, after all, the one and only Asmund Gold. I mean, it's yeah, he would know about those sorts of things too. Thanks so much to Vikes for the 43 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, apparently, I mean, apparently if you have just enough money, you can just pick up and move anywhere, and I mean that's what being rich means. So, all right. Anyway, yesterday I attended a lecture where Kasparov was claiming the Earth is only 4,000 years old. Can you explain? I'm going to assume that's a troll from you, but I know Gary believes there's some unusual Russian theory that he believes in that's, I think, questionable. Let's leave it at that. Okay, I'm going to play E4, playing Papa, who is rated 2005. Yeah, there's some Russian creation theory that Gary, I think, is a big proponent of that's not considered mainstream. Let's play D4 and takes. Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to find it. Obviously, that's why. Yeah, he believes in new chronology. That's what it is. I think that's what it is, right? Yeah. Let's play B3. Yeah, it's called the new chronology. It's a pseudo-historical conspiracy theory proposed by Anatoly Fomenko, who argues that events of antiquity generally attributed to the ancient civilizations of Rome, Greece, and Egypt actually occurred during the Middle Ages more than 1,000 years later. So there you guys go. That's, yeah, that is that's just the little bit. So anyway, back to the chess. Let's get going. I don't know if that's what it is, but anyway, yeah. Okay, A5. So my man wants to go A4 here, because if I take, I lose the juicer in the center. I think I'm supposed to play A4 here. I don't actually know. I mean, it does give him a hook here with knight B4, a little bit of a bastion, but yeah. Okay, goes to E5. I'm gonna go G3 to guard the juicer. XQCL juicers. Well, you guys, yeah, I've used the term for a long time now. I think it's a great term. The juice, as they say, it is whatever you want it to be. So yep. Now the pawn is weak on D6. There's actually a bit of theory here. This is something that's been played by Magnus Carlsen, the world chess champion, for another, I guess, about 45 days or 60 days, whatever it is. So Magnus actually played this whole queen takes D4, queen D2 line some time ago, and it's not considered great, but it's reasonable. I think I'm just gonna take. because I trade and I win a pawn, and I hope to open up the scope. So let's take. He's gonna take, and I guess I take back, or I take, I don't know, I'm maybe a little bit better. As you guys can count, you see I have ichi ni san yon go roku nana, ichi ni san yon go roku. So I'm up a pawn temporarily. I can take back, trade takes. I think I will just take, and I should be fine. So best bullet player equals you. I don't know, like I said, on my best day I can be great at bullet. Last night I made the mistake of seeing that Magnus Carlsen was actually online playing some bullet, and inspired me to actually try and play a little bullet offline. I played really badly, actually. Oh, did I blunder? I might have blundered this. Whoops, I did, because he is knight f2, which I didn't see. I'm gonna go for something weird here. I'm gonna take, so yeah, what was I saying? I was saying something, I forgot what I was saying. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna try to play on the whole queen side. Basically, he has knight f2, but I have knight e2. I can take the pawns, and I'm trusting that I get 3-0 on the queen side here, and I think it's enough. I have an outside scooter that can rush up the board here. I have like a5, a6. I can also take, and I'm trusting that 3 pawns are good. He's got no passed pawns here, so because he's got no passed pawns, I think I'm doing great. Yeah, so I was playing bullet, right? So I was playing bullet, and I was playing this guy, and I did terribly. Like I was very slow at the start. I lost like 3 in a row, and I was down something like 6-4 or something. And finally I just got really angry, and I just beat the guy pretty terribly. I beat him like 12 in a row or something. And finally I woke up, and I did really well, but nonetheless, by the way, his knight's in the corner here, so I'm just gonna push the pawn and win the game here. So anyway, yeah, watch out for sniping. Yes, yeah, 1-0 and 1-1 are very different. I mean 1-1 is very hard to judge, because actually if you were to ask me, I'm gonna give you guys, oh, he wants to go knight f2, knight d1. He's trying to be really sneaky. If I go here, he wants to go knight d1 and knight c3 for more hooks, but again, I just take the juicer on b4. He's trying to get the knight in and checkmate, but now I just take, no mate, because now the knight isn't supported by a juicer, and go check, and a7. Say my name, Heisenberg. Okay, let's take the knight. I will just go b4, b5, b6, b7. Game over. Do I think chess is a memorization game? No, but I will actually wait. I can go b7, but I think I'm just gonna go here and then b7. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go b7 and b8. Game over. Actually, before we start the next game, I'll tell you guys, this is one thing that I really dislike about chess, is that, let me just go to my archive just so I can just pull up the game randomly. But as an example, let me flip the board around. As an example of how bad chess has become, so the other day I've been playing the Balrog a little bit. I played this opening in the Pro Chess League. I lost against Josephine Heinemann, of course. I did quite well in a Title Tuesday sometime back, but when I played this a couple of times in Title Tuesday the other day, suddenly when I played it, I forget, I think it was Mykola Bortnik, and then also against Amin Tabatabai from Iran, they both played this line with knight c3 and bishop d3, which is the best way for white to play. This is the best setup. So even a random nonsensical opening like this that I played, suddenly all these GMs, instead of actually studying proper openings for classical games of chess, they're suddenly at home try-harding and studying for this silly little opening, which is again another example of what chess has become, and it's really not great. I mean, of course people say, well, you're just being mad that people are studying, and studying is normal. Of course it is, but it sort of speaks to how much chess has become about preparation and theory in general. So all right, let's keep going with our arena. I will click on next game. So yes, let's play a knight f3 here. They might be playing you for $1,000. No, of course, obviously, but the point is, I'm just saying, like, that's the Balrog, or the Balrog opening is not a good opening. Let's be serious. Like, it's a bit of a joke. And yet suddenly they're like try-harding and studying for it, and that's kind of the problem. Is it's very with preparation now, the strength of computers, you can prepare for any opening no matter how silly it is, and get to like move 20 no matter what. Gukesh finished second in the World Rapid Masters. I saw that. I wasn't following it very closely. I mean, I saw that Lev won it. Very lucky to win, by the way. If Esipenko's nerves had not failed him in the second to last game, Levon would not have won the tournament. It would have been another classic Levon collapse at the end. Fortunately for Levon, Esipenko just had no nerves, and he found a way to mess up that position in the second to last game. So Lev did win. Very well deserved for Lev. Obviously, he's had a very rough go of it for some time. But yeah, Gukesh I think played well. I didn't really look at Gukesh's games that close. Honestly, I didn't pay too much attention in general to the event for many reasons, but yeah. Okay, now I'm kicking the queen out of town. I'm just gonna castle here. Did the world championship get announced? I believe it did. I'm gonna go 91 93. I'm gonna trade some bishops here, and I want to go here and control this the breaks basically with the knight from d3. I think you're right about anger being good for chess, but what about being humble? Yes, being humble, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, even the people who look the most humble, like Vishy Anand, for example, there was a book written about him maybe about a year ago. And in that book, I think he basically said that he would like get really angry, he wouldn't sleep, and I don't know if he said he would throw a chair, but he basically said that he got really angry. He's just very good at kind of not showing it in public. I'm gonna go knight a5 and knight c5. D's knight's really strong here, trying to put a lot of pressure on the pawn on b7. He said it, I mean, he said it somewhere. Wesley gets angry too. Wesley also doesn't show up, but Wesley gets angry. I've seen Wesley get angry. Okay, wait, this is a free pawn. No, bishop's guarded. But I think ultimately the reason for that is because basically at some point, like when you lose someone who's better than you, you have to be like pardon my French, but you have to be like, fridge that guy. Like, I refuse to accept that they can be better than me. I refuse to accept it. And when you have that attitude, it changes things. Fabiano doesn't get angry. The best way you know Fabiano's unhappy is when he's doing poorly and his face becomes very red. It's actually a bit of a tell, which of course if I was a pro chess player I wouldn't say anything about, because I'd be sort of giving him some cues. That being said, I'll see Fabiano in a few days anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant. Thanks so much to Ron Jambo for the 6 months. Thank you so much to Ron Jambo. Yeah. Okay, let's play rook d1. Yeah, all right. Anyway, yeah, but no, I mean, everybody gets angry. It's just a matter of who shows it and who sort of doesn't show it. Navarra is always smiling. I know, maybe Navarra doesn't get angry. Now I'm going to build a big white center here with these knights, and the center is just too much. Okay, I'll take and create a connect 4 because that's very good. Let's go here and then connect 4 incoming. Go here, target the rook. Knight d6, by the way, not a good move, or not the best move. I'm gonna go g4. Who's better, Magnus or Gary? Again, unfair question to both parties. I mean, on the one hand, I mean, you could say Magnus is better, and I think he is better objectively. Now I'm gonna just take away squares from the knight. The horse has no oxygen here. I might even just sack. Let's just sack for the themes. So like Magnus is better, but Magnus's chess would be pathetic if not for Gary. So there's that reality. Let's go here. Great knight, great connect 4. I'm gonna go here, stop the push. Now there's a bind. Dark square is very weak. I've got knight g4, connect 4. Also I have end peasant as well, and this should be GG's. Why isn't Levy a GM yet? Typical daily question. There's no good answer to that, you guys. I give you the honest truth. Everyone's gonna be mad at me if I give like sort of a PC feel good answer. Everyone's gonna say, well, you're not being honest. So I don't see any reason to answer the question. Play h4. Ivanchuk doesn't get angry. Well, you guys, speaking of Ivanchuk not getting angry, I think when Ivanchuk had this terrible game that he lost like 9 moves in I think it was the world, it was in the FIDE, they called it World Championship at the time. I'll show you guys on a board. So Ivanchuk had this game that he lost, and I'll just show you. This was against Discipiano, Chucky playing with a black piece. I believe it went knight f3, knight c6, d4, takes. I think it was queen f6, takes. It was something like bishop c5. Was it queen d2? Maybe I've got the position wrong, but it was something weird where somehow at some point very early on he played like a bishop takes f2 move or something like this, and he lost in like 9 moves, and he got really angry after that game. So also Chucky, when he's lost games, he's been known to hit his head like against the wall. So yeah, I mean, Chucky is Chucky. He's a phenomenal player, but he's done some things that okay. Now we're playing 928, so I'm going to keep this very slow and simple and illustrative. So my opponent's playing this Scandinavian. I'm going to play knight f3. I'll play d4 here. I think it's originally a variant for the 2 tag med. But to answer the levy question, because of course like there doesn't matter either way, there are a couple obvious realities. First of all, anybody who goes from playing chess in a serious manner to teaching at a much lower level, this applies to coaches first and foremost. You start to think the way that the beginners think, and in chess, in order to keep improving and play against the best players, you really have to know when to break the rules. And when your mindset starts shifting a lot, the way you think is completely different, and that changes everything. So I'm going to play bishop e2 here, just developing castle here. That's first and foremost, which applies to basically every coach on the planet, just so you guys know. Like anybody who's like master level or better, who's coaching seriously, they stop playing tournaments competitively specifically for this reason, because they're gonna just like do worse and worse. That's the first simple answer that applies just across the board. You know, also I would say that's one of the reasons that with my stream very early on, I don't think I've ever said this, but I made a conscious decision very early on that like I was not really going to try and start simplifying it over the top, specifically because I do want to still play top level tournaments and be competitive. I'm gonna play a3. Bishop e4 doesn't do a whole lot because I don't have a knight in the center yet. Now I can play knight c3 or knight d2. Both moves are reasonable, but due to the pawn structure here, if I want to push the pawn to d5, the knight makes sense on c3 if I really want to push forward. But if I'm not pushing forward, this pawn can become weak. So I'm going to actually go knight d2 so I can play h3 and recapture with the knight here and overprotect the pawn on d4. Okay, I'm just going to go b4, take some space here. So yeah, my center is fine. I can't really push forward because this pawn covers the square. But he plays a5, and now he's actually starting to give me just too much space here. Thank you so much to M Baker for the 3, Numbskully. Thank you to Money Moy, and thank you to Orta Gaming for the 12. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I voted for you in the streamer awards, even though I like the Bota sisters. I don't even know how you want me to respond to that. That sounds like a I don't know how you want me to answer that, dude. So I hope you win the streamer award. I said before, I'll say it again. I simply hope that either Levy or I win it, and I'm not optimistic about either of those outcomes, just so you know. I'm gonna play a4 and protect my pawns here on the queen side. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go queen b3, try to get nasty here because I have a fork that's lurking with b6. Knight c8, good move. Now I'm going to keep building my center. Also, by playing f4, I overprotect the knight, but I can also take space now, and the pawn is really well placed. The bishop now on a great diagonal, and I'm doing extremely well here. Thanks so much to the 68 for the 8 months. Thanks so much to the 68. So okay, let's just drop back. Bishop still guarding the pawn. Chessable course on the Grand Prix one. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I do intend to do chessable courses this year, though, for people who know. I mean, I know Danny conveniently forgot about that when he was doing a State of the Union, but I will be doing some chessable stuff. Now I can take a pawn here and win, but it doesn't, it's probably still best. So I'm just going to take with the knight here. This guy might be cheating. Zero chance. If this guy is cheating, he's the worst cheater in the world because he's getting steamrolled on the board. Just because he hasn't hung a piece does not mean he's cheating, you guys. I mean, seriously, like King G7. Very funny, you guys. Very funny. Let's take. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm up a couple of pawns here. I'm just gonna go back. Sorry, that's just very funny. Do I still read a lot of books about chess? Not really, you guys. I actually spent not all day yesterday, but I was rereading Harry Potter yesterday. So no, I don't read much. I read a lot of books that are not chess related these days. Yeah, I'm up a rook. I'm just gonna take an open lane here. Active rook, create the kebab. Let's just go here, attack the bishop. Bishop guards the rook. Let's just take the bishop, attack the knight. Gonna take and look at these pawns. They're just rolling up the board here. Where does steamroll originate? I don't know, you guys. I'm not an English major. English, frankly, is barely my first language, so I don't know, you guys. I have no idea. Yeah. What a bullet performance on Saturday. New sheriff in town. Guys, I've been pretty good at bullet for, I don't know, like 20 years now or something. It's not, I don't know why you're acting all surprised. Yeah, you're acting all surprised like it's, whoops, what was that? Sorry. The next arena game. Yeah. Okay, again, 1700. I thought by doing rating base I'd play this top players, but for some reason I'm missing them, so we're gonna try to keep this fairly educational. Let's play bishop b5. No way he's 900. Actually, I think my opponent was 900. I'll tell you why I think it was 900, because the opening was very slow. I wasn't trying to put him under pressure immediately. Like, I'll give you an example. In this game, if I just play normal slow moves like castles, d3, etc., my opponent's going to survive the first 20 moves without hanging a piece. He'll be very slightly worse, but he'll survive. So watch what happens when I start to like be very aggressive here. You're going to see that he's going to start to crumble under the pressure. Let's just go back. Yeah, see, I wasn't really pressuring him. I was just improving the position to be more educational, and you guys assumed that because he wasn't hanging a piece and that means he's not 900, whereas his moves were fairly easy to play. But you're gonna see now, like when I start to actually try to put the heat on this guy, like the 1700, you're gonna see that he's gonna end up in trouble very quickly here. Like he's already probably lost, because of course, like I know what I'm talking about, you guys. Goes knight g4, which hits the pawn, but now I have bishop g5 to hit the queen. He can go f6, I suppose. Yeah, I told you. Okay, now I can take, or I can play queen d5. I'm just gonna take. Let's see, takes with knight. I'm gonna go e5. As you can tell, I'm really trying to turn up the heat on him. I go here. Like this is exactly the point. Now all moves lead to Rome here. I think takes is just easiest. Yeah, it's just easy. And he just loses, and this is what I'm saying. See, like this guy's 1700, not 900, but because I really tried to put heat on him early on, immediately I got very aggressive. He fell apart very quickly, and if I'd done that against the 900, it would have been the same case, but obviously I didn't do that. Let's just drop the juicer back. Thank you so much to Dare Telepathy for the 28 months. Appreciate it. My favorite pro streamer and hobby chessboard. Yeah, chess is a great hobby. Just turn on the air conditioner. Yeah, exactly. Let's just take the knight. Yeah, see, now you watch this game, you're like, wait, how's it now? What you want to say is, anybody who's watching wants to say, wait, but how is this guy 1700? I mean, he just hung every piece on the board. How can he be 1700? But it's because I put a lot of pressure on him immediately in the game. That's why. So it's like everyone's like, okay, that guy can't be 900. Then they're like, this guy can't be 1700. But the reason is because stylistically I was playing very differently. Go bishop g4. He wouldn't play like that against me, Copium. Well, that's the typical thing. People watch a stream, they're like, yeah, you know, someone might be about 1200, and then they see me play 1200, and they're like, but 1200 would never just hang a rook against me. But the reason 1200 hangs it against me is for a couple reasons. First of all, they know they're playing against me, but secondly, beyond that, like I'm putting pressure. My moves are fast, my moves are good, and they're feeling that pressure as well. I'm gonna go e6 here, just play very simple chess again, bishop d6. Again, like I said, I made this arena rating base, so I was supposed to play people in my rating range. I don't know why it's not working, but so be it. Just go here. I don't really want to trade the bishops if I can help it. I'm gonna go here to try to prevent him from castling queenside. Am I better than Danny at 30-second chess? No. I mean, I suspect, like, probably if I mean, maybe this is a hot take. I think probably if I could magically be 10 years younger right now and play against Danny and Andrew in like 30-second or even hyper, I think I'd be competitive with them. Like, I think I'd be competitive with Andrew and hyper, but at 35, I mean, it's a joke. And at 30-second, I also don't think so. Like, I think I'd be better than Danny if I could magically be 25, but unfortunately I'm not. So I think it's not just a play raise for the 8. Drop back. Now my man is just pushing too many pawns. He's making it so that whichever side he castles on, he's been flinging poo, and his pawns are so advanced here that he's going to be in trouble. Now I'm going to play a5 here. I still might castle, but I have the benefit of having all these pawns in front of my king, and I could even play a bomb cloud with king e7. You said that with 1 minute bullet. I mean, I still think on any given Sunday I'm the best player at bullet, but I don't think I'm consistently the best. Yesterday I was playing okay at bullet, but I was not playing great. So yeah, let's go c5 here. Again, his king is really open. If he castles, I'm going to play f5 or h5. I don't really want to trade because then I open up the c file. I can play c4 here, and I think I will actually. Question: do you sometimes destroy your PC setup when you lose a game? No, but when I was younger, I would take a mouse and throw it. That is the one thing I would do. I would take a mouse and throw it. Yeah. I'm just gonna play rook c8 here. Maybe knight d5 here. If he takes, I just take back. I saw Magus played Jose. I didn't see what the final score was, but I saw they were playing. The only problem with me trading is that now I can actually go king d2. Of course, this kind of hangs something bad here. Last time I threw my mouse was I think it was when I played against Sam Shanklin in one of the chess 24 events. I don't know which one it was. I think called the Opera Rapid, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the last time I played him in the Opera Rapid final round. I lost. I did take a mouse and I threw it and I broke it. Let's just take. Let's just trade queens, go king d7. Probably rook f4 is good. I can also just eat the juicer as well. Have I ever played a tournament in the UK? Yes, you guys. I played in London every year from 2009, I believe it was, until 2018, I believe. There was a tournament called the London Chess Classic that I played every single year. So I celebrated like 10 birthdays in London because the tournament was always held in December. How much money does chat have to donate to you for me to throw a pie at Magus on camera? You mean take the pie and slam it in his face like they do in sports? Maybe someone should Casillas as a free rook. Game over. Yeah, good one. Yeah, keep going. All right, we're playing Felites 2301. Let's play e4 here. Will I ever play in Gibraltar again? Probably not. I don't know if Gibraltar will happen again. I think it was one of the casualties of COVID, because the tournament, the way I understood the structure of the tournament in Gibraltar is that the owner of the hotel was a big fan of chess. I think the owner suffered serious financial losses when COVID hit, and so because of that, I don't think the tournament will ever return in its old form, which is very, very, very sad, very disappointing because I had many great memories there. It takes, so it's a little bit like a king's gambit, a little bit. I'll take with the pawn here, big white center, just take the pawn. Very, very pleasant. Just keep developing. Okay, I can play d5 here. Let's take more center. Hikaru, I'm buying the wife a birthday car. Camry or Accord? I mean, I've driven both. I mean, the first car that I had was a hand-me-down Honda Accord. It's a tough question. I mean, I've driven a Camry quite recently, actually within the last 2 weeks. So if you were to ask me, I would probably, they're both really good. I mean, it depends. Again, Camry's a bit smaller than the Accord. I mean, I personally am a big Honda guy. I don't know why Honda hasn't sponsored me yet, but being that I'm a big Honda guy and I'm kind of biased, I would probably say an Accord. Honestly, I'd probably go with Accord. That's just me personally though. I'm just gonna go here so that I can guard. I wanted to take, but after takes queen a5, there's a neat tactic that won knights because of the right triangle. That's just me. Yeah, I think it was the Cheeto Town dude for the 12 months. But yes, that's my personal opinion. I like the Accord a little bit more. Have I ever dreamed of owning a Tesla? Not in recent times, definitely not. Castle here. Let's take and go king b1. I'm waiting for like the actual car companies to make a car at a much more affordable price that's just flat out better. And I mean, I think that's gonna happen. I know it's a hot take. I'm not cows for the 8 months. I'm just gonna go here. I don't have to do a whole lot here. The thing is, in this position, my opponent can't castle, so I'm trying to improve everything, put it on perfect squares. I can play knight d5. Knight g5 looks like a good move to hit the pawn too. I think I'll go Krakowski for the 7 months. My attitude is I have a Honda Civic right now that has 33,000 miles on it. I don't drive that much, so my assumption is I'm going to drive that car until literally the wheels fall off of it, and then by that point in, you know, a good 10 years, everything will be electric anyway, and there will definitely be a much better product than Tesla. That's my general attitude. Let's go here, go for a checkmate on c8. I have a Civic EXL. That's what I have. Goes knight b6. Now I'm looking for a way to win here. I don't actually see a way to win. I could play knight e6 here. Queen h3 also an interesting move. I'm gonna go for some kind of weird checkmate idea here with like rook c8. So yeah, that's my take on cars though. Let's go check. Do I not wait? Do I have rook d1 here? Wait a second. There should be a way to win. Let's go for the tickle. Can play rook d1 here, which is, or knight f7, maybe knight f7, because now when he takes, I go check, and I win the queen with the classic forkaroo. And like I said, you guys know my opinions on Tesla anyway. Considering how paranoid I get when my phone battery gets low, like it gets like lower than 20%, or not paranoid, but like I start to panic a little bit if I can't charge it. It gets below 20%. I would never want to have a Tesla where like the mileage is off by like 50%. I told you guys, like when I was in California a couple months back, my brother, for whatever reason, he decided to get a Tesla at the rental company, and like when I'm seeing it just go down and we're in the middle of the desert and it's completely off, you know, it goes from like 60 to 50% battery very quickly. Like there's no way I could ever deal with that. Play e6 and bishop d6. Range anxiety, exactly. Because I mean, just knowing how I get with like my phone, when my phone gets like 20% or lower and like I can't charge it because I don't have my charge, like, you know, I don't have my charge time out or something, like I start to like lose my mind a little bit. So yeah, let's just take. Just get a Nokia phone. Yeah, I mean, I had a Nokia, and that was my first phone, was a Nokia. So anyway, all right. Hikaru should play chess where there are actual cannons. We're gonna play some variants today. We're gonna play atomic later on, which is exactly what it implies. It's atomic. So if you put anything near a square, it gets blown up. It gets vaporized. The cost repairs for Teslas are insane. I wouldn't know, but having had a BMW, I'm aware of that sort of stuff. What's my favorite Harry Potter book? I don't know if I have a favorite one per se. I think they were all pretty good. I'm just gonna take and play rook b6 here. I'm gonna go knight e5. I'm gonna go rook b6 to prevent the pin. Queen c8. I think I have queen d8, but I'm not sure. Did I see Chess Queen won the Women's Grand Prix with an average 96% accuracy from 11 games? I saw she won. 96% accuracy is surprising because a couple of her games I thought the quality was not really all that great, to be honest. When can we see sub battles with Samay Rainer from India? I don't know. Is Samay still doing stuff with chess? I don't know what Samay is even doing these days. I have the same mug. Yeah, you guys. I think this is still in the merch store if you want it. I think it is. So you can actually get it. Yeah. Queen a4. Okay, I will just castle here. Chamber of Secrets is the best. I'm reading the Chamber of Secrets. I just started rereading it yesterday with Dobby. Okay, now he goes rook e1. I'm gonna play knight e4 here, take away squares from the knight. Also, I'm putting pressure on this pawn. I can also take, maybe. I can also play rook b1 and knight c3, but I think this is correct. Okay, so I expect that. Now I can go knight c4 or knight g4, or I can go knight d3. I'm gonna go to d3. He's got to play e5 here to avoid losing a pawn. What opening do I recommend for beginners to learn first? I mean, I can't give you like one specific opening. That's why chess is such a fascinating and difficult game, because there isn't like one opening that's just like an easy solution. Actually, I allowed rook e3, which is poor. I'm gonna have to drop the knight back to stop some weird stuff happening on the king side here. I'd probably recommend more simplistic openings. So for example, something like, I think the Karo Khan is pretty thematic. I think the Scandinavian is very thematic. I'm gonna create the double stack on the B file here. Probably with black, I would say openings like that. With white, it's much more mixed. At the very start, I mean, I think openings like the London are actually quite reasonable. Italian is actually one of the worst openings that you can play as a beginner. I know a lot of people actually think it's one of the best openings. It's one of the worst openings that you can play because the play is not straightforward or simple whatsoever. I'm gonna go here on queen e2. Did I just blunder here? I think I did, but no, actually I didn't blunder because this is called the ambulance, but not for me. Because I'm gonna checkmate him on g2 here. Oh, he went to h6. I was not expecting that, actually. I thought he was going to check me on f6. No, wait, did I just... Oh, I'm actually an idiot. I thought he could check me. Whatever. Okay, now I should just be winning here because I can go... Wait, rook b1. Let's go here. I mean, very scary. Look at all these mating threats. Go here. Just too much heat. He can't handle the heat. And now we get checkmate. Daniel said that you and Magus are the two best players in Blitz and no one even close. Well, to give Daniel credit, you guys, I would say that in 3-0, at least in 3-0 chess, which you can really only play online, I don't know. I mean, I think Daniel is probably a very solid third. Actually, a very solid third. I'm not sure I would say anyone is better at 3-0. With increment, it's different. But at 3-0, I think he is. Now we're going to play the classic Kopek system with bishop d3, bishop c2, and d4 here. Is the Queen's Gambit series educational at all? Not really, no. Ali Reza doesn't play enough anymore, so it's very hard to judge. But I mean, this is going to be a hot take, and since I'm not a pro chess player anymore, it doesn't matter. But I feel like Ali Reza, when I've played him in recent times, I'm gonna go h3 stop bishop g4. When I played him in recent times, I feel like he's not as good as he was when I was playing him at various times during the pandemic. So I mean, again, obviously, if he's playing better classical chess, that matters more in the long run. But I would say that I think that broadly speaking, I feel like he's lost something in Blitz. Artemiev is not better in 3-0. Artemiev with increment is very, very good. But in 3-0, that's why I said 3-0 and not increment. With increment, Artemiev wipes the floor with Daniel every day of the week. Artemiev is just incredibly good with increment. And of course, increment is what we normally play anyway. So, yeah. Thanks so much, Submarine Mike, for the 10. Thanks so much. So... I'm gonna go here and knight d2. Bishop e3 is a good move because again he has no knight g4. It was dual purpose. Originally it stopped bishop to g4, but it also stops knight g4. Now he goes f5 or knight h5 to play f5. I'm gonna start putting pressure on the c file here. Probably gonna go queen b8 or d8. I don't know which one. I'd take Nihal over Daniel. I would not in 3-0. I actually would. I'd bet money. In a match, I would bet money on Daniel in 3-0. In 3-0, I would. I'm gonna go knight a4 to create the bastion on b6. Yeah, I would bet on Daniel in straight up 3-0 against Nihal. Play knight b6 here. Goes rook d9. The problem is the bishop's actually very well placed. I think I'm just gonna line up a double stack and try to infiltrate here. Actually, now he lets me infiltrate and get a bastion on e6, and this is going south very quickly. Why were you not on a list of players playing the Grand Chess Tour? Because I am a streamer first, you guys. Secondly, there are enough events already happening between the Chess Champions Tour, all the weekly events on chess.com. I mean, it's just more important, let's be honest. Thanks so much to Nia Atari for the 12 months. Thank you to Chief Hissingen. Thank you so much to Rye. Thank you so much to Seabass. Okay, let's create the bastion here. You can obviously take what I just take. Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, there are a few reasons, but frankly, I'm going to pick and choose the tournaments I want to play. Grand Chess Tour objectively matters very little in the bigger scheme of things, unlike say Isle of Man, the tournament where I believe the winner of the top two make it into the candidates tournament. So I'm going to play tournaments that have a chance to give me a qualification for that. Thanks so much to Gustav for the 3 months. Thanks so much to Gustav. Yes, I saw Magus 129-4. I'm aware. I also beat some guy like 17-6 or something, or 18-6, whatever it was as well. Your beard grows so fast. Oh, thank you. Do I have any tips on how to choose the correct move and calculate? That's another $1 million question. Canada's Classic World Champion would be the main aim. Well, I mean, the Canada's is a big tournament. If I qualify, it's very hype. So I mean, also I think people forget that, you know, if I play tournaments, I have to take into consideration the fact that you know, I am or wait, no, I gotta guard the pawn. What am I doing? Let's create a connect 4 here. That, like, you know, I also have to do recaps and other things after the games. Like, that takes a lot of energy, and it's not as simple as people think it is. So when you have to do stuff like that as well, on top of playing the long games, like, I do have to pick and choose very carefully. Thanks so much to Chief Hissingen for the gifted sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. Play e7. Do people recognize you at the grocery store? By the way, I grew up in Fresno. I have family in Fresno. What's wrong with Fresno? Let's go e7 and rook c1 and rook c8. Anyway, sometimes it happens, not that frequently. It was actually weird. I was out the other day in Miami, and as I was going to my car to drive, someone actually did recognize me as they were going to park, which is kind of wild. But I will say, on that note, people do need to touch grass, because again, everybody who ever recognized me in real life, I always ask them, where do they watch me, Twitch or YouTube? And everyone, without fail, like 95% of people have always said that they watch me on YouTube. So you guys got to go outside, you got to live life, you got to touch some grass. Like, just being honest, just keeping it real. It's like, it is like 95% of people. Yeah, I'm just gonna trade the queens against 2300. I'm primarily a YouTube watcher, lol. Yeah, now I'm gonna trade the queens at some point. I want to. I'm at work right now. Does it count as touching grass? Yes, true. Okay, I'm gonna go c5 again. It's a lot like a French here, but I don't have this bad bishop that's normally clogged by this pawn chain. So without the bishop, I'm doing very well, and I just play as very much like the French. Try to put pressure on this connect 5 as much as I can here and just keep going. Knight g3 is a good move, because if I take, even though white gets a doubled pawns here, he can start to use this open f lane with rook f1 and then some knight g5 down the road. So I don't really want to trade, so I'm going to go g6 here. I think it's just Prince Dan for the 2 months. Bishop g5, also a good move. I guess I'm just going to trade the queens now. Go here, try to put pressure in the center once again. Can take both ways actually, but I'll take with the g pawn. It looks more correct because white can't really target this pawn, even though it's a little bit loose on the edge. If you could magically put the knight on f4, he could target it, but the knight on f3 has to guard the central pawns. Let's just go here, I guess. What would I study if I was a university student? Well, you know, I did go to college, even if it was briefly. Go here, target the rook, of course. Basically, I want to take away him. I want to stop from stacking the 2 towers here. I probably would have. I mean, when I went to uni, I was intending to go into political science, so that's probably what I would have done. Probably what I would have done. I would have gone into. I would have done poli-sci, and I would have hated myself. Basically, that's what would have happened. Knight b4, not a good move, by the way, by me, but I'll get away with it. You seem like a philosophy guy. I mean, no, because I have a brain, you guys. And if you get a major in philosophy, you aren't getting a job. So you will have wasted 4 years to learn about God, and does God exist? Does Superman exist? Ubermensch, all this other garbage. And at the end of the day, what do you get out of it? You get exactly nothing. You're basically gonna have wasted 4 years, and you will not be able to get a good job. So why on earth would I want to do that? You have to be a little bit insane to do that. Okay, I'm gonna go knight c6 here. WTF? I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I'm also not joking. I'm not joking. I mean, at the end of the day, now I could actually be really fancy schmancy if I take here to win the bishop, and he takes, I fork him with knight c2, and if he takes, I just trade on c1. Yeah, political science, of course, you can basically sell your soul and be a lobbyist. It's not that hard. But now I take, and I guess he just missed rook c1 with the classic kebab. He missed rook c1. Okay, keep going. Yeah. Play c6 here. Let's play another Hikaru Khan. Could I get an autograph if I ran to the airport? Yes, you could, but I do have one thing to say, because when I was flying to the World Rapid and Blitz in Kazakhstan, I was flying through Hartsfield International Airport in Atlanta, and at some point I was walking and a kid just like basically touched me on the shoulder, and I kind of freaked out a little bit. So like, there's nothing wrong with it, just like come up to me and say hello. Don't like try to like run up behind me and like tap my shoulder or something, because I kind of freaked out. It didn't help because I remember this the problem is like Also, when that happened, like I think Michelle Kerr, who also played chess at some point, she's a YouTuber, she'd done a video that was like it was called like Secret Service Training or something in it, and I think I'd watched that maybe like 2 days before, so I just like completely freaked out. So after fe4 I'm gonna play knight c5 here. Yeah. Noted, coming for the shoulder. Yeah. Actually, why did I do this? I have a terrible position. I have to try to claim some center, but he's got this great op on b3 too. Yeah, someone's gonna tap me now on the shoulder. Yeah, but I think I watched her video and it was on Secret Service Training. Like at one point, like they have like the fake president when they're simulating it go through like a crowd of people, and it's like if you touch them on the shoulder, something, they'll like bend your hand back or something, like something insane. But let's go queen e7 here. Yeah, top US chess player gets spooked by kid due to watching Secret Service Training days prior. Yeah, it was Michelle Carre. She did a video on that, and I watched it a few days earlier, so it just kind of like I just lost my mind a little bit. Okay, castles. Now I have to be very careful. Bishop g5, big threat. I'm gonna go a5 though. I think I have time to go after him with a4 and trap the b shop. You're attacked by matrix agents. Yes, the big bad matrix, you guys. The big bad matrix is out to get you. Of course. Thank you. So yeah, but no, of course it's all good, you guys. It's always good. Goes to a3 now. Of course I want to weaken instruction now. He's a backwards pawn that can be very weak because the pawn supports this, but it has no support behind. Like if this pawn's here, it supports, but now the chain is broken. Go here, stop bishop g5, kill the pin idea. And then I don't know if I'm going to develop the bishop, or problem is now I can't castle because then I hang the pawn. So it's like it stops this, but it also stops me from castling. Problem with bishop e3 I thought was that I could play knight g4 and trade, but it doesn't look all that special. I can play g5 here. I don't actually like my position. I'm gonna go knight d7. Point being that I have some slight weaknesses in this endgame on these dark squares, so that's why I'm going here, because I was worried about queen f2 and bishop c5, but now the knight covers, so I just castle because there's no bishop c5 here. Are you in Fort Lauderdale? I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, I live in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, let's go b5 here. He'll go knight c5. I guess I go rook e8 maybe. If takes, I just trade. Again, with two bishops long term, I'm a little bit better. It's not like brilliant. I trade the knights because I want to develop my bishop at some point. I'm gonna go here and then bishop e6 to target this pawn if I can, or bishop g4 also move. Hey, so you live close to Mar-a-Lago? Not exactly. I can play f6. I can also go bishop g4. I can even just trade. I think I just trade because I have rook takes e4. Oh, he takes with a knight. Play rook e4. There's some knight c6 trick, I think. So the weakness is on the f file, but I think I just ignore it and I just keep developing naturally, like bishop e6, and I should eventually be better. Captain America versus Iron Man. Probably more of a fan of Iron Man, but don't have a real big preference for either one. Plays knight d4, which is a pretty good move. Thing is, his pawns are a little bit crummy here, so I want to basically try to trade to endgames because in the long term the pawns are weak. These pawns are not good, so all endgames should favor me, so I will trade and go here and go for the classic kebab. I think I go here. Yeah, I don't see how he stops it. Of course we also have a right triangle in here as well. No queen g5 either because the pawn covers. Offers a draw. No draw. Did I watch Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury? No, I didn't watch it. I think there's a G Falco for the prime. Okay, now I'm gonna keep playing the Caro Khan. Let's go d5. Guys, how can I apply to play like him? This is not quite how it works. Let's take let's go here and trade the knights again. Position was a draw for sure, possibly. Oh, I played 2800 in the first game. Yeah, I mean, these players are decent though, so it's not like, I mean, these players are fairly decent. Do I feel like Andrew's game has declined? Which Andrew? Which Andrew? Andrew Tang? Andrew Tate? Andrew I don't know what other Andrews are there. Andrew Tang, probably, I mean, you're talking about Bullet, of course it's gotten worse, but Andrew Tang actually has a real job in finance. He's working at SIG. I think it's SIG if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's got a real job working at, it's SIG or Susquehanna. Is Susquehanna maybe the same thing? No, it is. I think I have 2 Sigma, which is different from Susquehanna, but he has a real job working at a good finance firm. Of course his chess is going to get worse. Of course it's going to get worse. I mean, I would hope that his chess get worse, because like otherwise it means he's not focusing on his job. No, we're talking about Andrew Tang, not Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is like 1700-ish. Things are just ordinary order for the 6 months, but yeah. No, I mean, like seriously, if Andrew Tang's not getting worse at chess, then I would actually be very disappointed in him, because he has a real chance at a very good job, like a good career prospects. So yeah, trade. No, we're talking about Andrew Tang. Andrew Tate is Andrew Tate is a little bit different. He's in jail, which actually for Andrew Tate, his chess should be improving, because one of the biggest activities in jail is people really do like chess. Like, there are people I know who've gone and done simuls and other things at various jails. So I mean, Andrew Tate should actually be improving at chess, unlike Andrew Tang, who should be getting worse. So yeah. All right, I'm playing h5 just to take some space on the king side. Doesn't really do a whole lot. Late knight d5. Let's just take and go king d7. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, like joking aside, I mean, Andrew Tang is a very good player, but he, I mean, the chance of making a career as a pro chess player are basically non-existent. So I mean, I am very happy that he's focusing on a job in finance. I'm gonna play b5 trade here. I don't have to, but it's a move. Basically, also in the endgame, as you see, all the pawns are on dark squares, same color as this bishop. So in the long run, I assume that I'll be able to do something. I think I'm gonna go here and stack. I don't know why I'm going to a7 instead of a6, but my gut is that somehow I might want to bring the rook over to the center of the board, and if it was on a6, bishop covers a square. Let's go here. I'm gonna go here to bring the rook over to the center of the board, because now I can play bishop d8 to guard the pawn. I think there's a pumpkin rook for the 2 months. Hikaru, if you want to improve your chess, go to prison. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I said, you guys. Let's take and go back. Why has Andrew Tang never done well in the... Oh, whoa, I missed... Oh, yeah, I missed this. Uh-oh, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. Not big trouble, but a little bit of trouble. He's not done well because he's outclassed. He's playing players who are stronger than him. There is increment. Like I said, playing with increment versus without increment, I said that earlier, there's a big difference. Andrew Tate quote, a good chess game represents a gentleman. A perfect chess game represents a wasted life. Did he actually say that? That sounds like something he would say. That does sound like something he would say. Now can I actually take... Blocks, I go here. If he takes, I take. No, actually, you know who I think did say that is Paul Morphy. That's Paul Morphy. That's not Andrew. Yeah, that is Paul Morphy, right? I knew that sounded vaguely familiar. Yeah, okay. Go here, I get. Oh, rook c7 is a horrible move. Go here. Take. I mean, I have 2 connected pawns here. Go check. Go here. Now the 2 pawns are just too fast. If you're playing Kitch, would you lose on purpose? No, you guys, I would not lose on purpose. I think it's pretty bog in simuls. Sometimes when I've done simuls in the past, I will give a draw if I feel like a kid has played really well. I will sometimes give a draw, but no, of course not, because you got to get what you got to earn everything in life. You guys can't be relying on like handouts and everything being free, like, you know, free healthcare, you know, stimulus endlessly, all these things. Like, come on, that's not the real world, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna take the knight on c6 here. My opponent has misplayed this Berlin defense here, because after knight e4 I just go rook e1. Let's go d3, and knight b d2. Let's go here. Go h3 and stop bishop g4. Play rook e1. Let's play c4 knight c3. Come on, you guys, I'm trolling, seriously. Of course free healthcare is a thing. I'm just pretending to be like some insane crazed right winger at the moment. I will just play e5 here. Just take with the bishop. Okay, I can play queen b3 here. I can also go queen h5. I'm just pretending kappa. Good knight d5. Wait, I can. Oh wait, no, if I take, that's no good. Take. What am I doing? I'm playing this horribly. Okay, now my opponent has bad pawns. Let's look at it that way. For starters, he's got bad pawns. Does have an active rook here, so I do need to be careful. I can play queen f3 for the memes in the end game. I don't know whose pawns are worse there, but I think I'm just going to activate the kebab with rook e7 instead. Hikaru Abi, yeah. Now I could play queen f3. I could also play queen e2. I could also go queen b3 to trade the queens this way, which is interesting. Actually, I'm gonna go this way, and I don't know whose pawns are worse here. Everybody's pawns are terrible. Everyone's pawns are bad. My pawns are bad, his pawns are bad, everyone's pawns are bad here. Ultimately, however, I think this is probably not good for either of us. Yeah, ultimately this is probably just not good for either of us. Let's go here. The free pawn. Yeah, I totally bungled. This is just a draw. Goes to f4, which feels a little bit loose. I mean, it's still a draw, of course. Well, he plays g5, which is insane. Now this is still a draw with perfect play. Or is it? Or is it? No, actually this isn't a draw anymore, I don't think. I've got b5 b6. If I go b7, I go here, check, trade king f3, and it's just a winning endgame. Go here and king f4. Isn't anything a draw with perfect play? Sometimes, yeah. Favorite YouTuber currently? I haven't been watching much YouTube, but I mean, I'd probably say objectively it's like Ludwig or Charlie. I mean, I still do watch both of them a fair amount. These are the Caddles for the 6th. Thank you. Yes, it's Mace Poster, and thank you to Facey for the prime. Appreciate it. Okay, let's play e6 and d5 here. Hassan Abi, I don't watch Hassan Abi on YouTube. I sometimes watch him on Twitch. Sometimes, but little Hassan goes a long way for me. Play 97. It's taking place c5, streaming on Thursday. I will be playing the Pro Chess League from Boston, so I'll be playing the Pro Chess League on the road. But yes, I will be playing this week for the Gotham Knights. I'll play queen c7 here, and maybe b6. What's in Boston? There is the Sloan Sports Analytics Conference. There is a panel on chess there because the current general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers, Daryl Morey, who initially founded it, is it's like his brain. He's like the brain. It's like the brainchild of his. Is that the right word? He's basically big on chess. Let's cast. So I even had him on stream about like 3 years ago, back before everything went crazy. I'll play knight 6. Favorite NBA team? I don't have a favorite team at the moment. Growing up, obviously, I was a huge New York Knickerbockers fan. Knicks obviously have not been good in a long time, and nobody likes James Dolan, so that's kind of a problem. But the Knicks seem to be decent this year, so I'm trying to get back into it, but I don't know what to expect. Have I beat every bot? No, we're gonna play some bots later. We're gonna play Luka Doncic bot because it's apparently 2,900 now. Let's play h6. Yeah, I mean, I grew up a Knicks fan. Obviously, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, John Starks. Anthony Mason, of course, and then a little bit later I still like them when they had what they have, Latrell Sprewell, Allen Houston, and Larry Johnson. Also, like, I really like the Knicks were great back then, but then, you know, again, they just kind of got rid of everybody. I stopped like really liking them. And of course James Dolan, again, James Dolan. No, last time that I actually tried to be a Knicks fan, well, there were 2 times when I tried to get back into it and follow the Knicks. The first was when Keith Van Horn was like suddenly having like this weird late career resurgence. I think that it was around that time. That I don't know, did they get, was that when they got Carmelo, or was that when they got Stephon Marbury? I don't remember who they got, but around that there was some time with Keith Van Horn was incredible, and then they did something and Van Horn basically just got minimized completely. Was it Marbury? Okay. And then the second time was, of course, when Jeremy Lin came on the scene, and when Jeremy Lin had that great game against, I think it was the Lakers, I think it was prime time if I remember correctly, when he had that great game and he scored like 30 points or whatever it was. That was the second time I tried. And then of course Carmelo comes back, and of course we know how the story goes. Let's go rook c4 here, trade some rooks. Yeah, so those were the 2 times in recent memory, like I tried to get back into the Knicks, and then both times they botched it, they messed it up. And so yeah, and of course, I mean, I hate Carmelo, everybody does. Play rook c3 and takes. Knicks suck. I mean, hey, don't worry, D Rose will maybe play again. If D Rose plays again, he just needs to pretend it's 2011, and if he can play like it was in 2011, the Knicks will win the championship. All right, I'm gonna play d3 here. Maybe queen c5. I also just go d2. He's trying to mate with like rook g3. Play d2. So yeah, lol, yeah. Copium much. Let's just take the rook. His knees are gone. Well, obviously his knees are gone, but still, let's go a5, b5, a4, everything. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna, he's trying to go for the king side again, but I'm not really worried. I think I'll just go b5 here anyway. Oh, I mean, D Rose would have been a Hall of Famer for sure. Who knows if he would have been right at the top, but he would have been a Hall of Famer. But you know, life is cruel sometimes. Life is cruel. Thanks so much to Mr. Saputo for the prime, and Kurgunk with the prime as well. Appreciate it. Yeah. Have I seen Cocaine Bear? Not yet, you guys. Not yet. Go b4 here. Will Luka be the GOAT? I doubt it. I mean, didn't the Mavs blow like a was it like 25-point lead last night? I wasn't watching, but didn't they blow some massive lead? Go a3, a2, a1. 27. Terrible. Make a queen. Go check and play queen a8 check. I mean, I have 2 queens. I think I'm just gonna go here and go for a checkmate. I mean, I obviously have way too much firepower on the board as is, but still. Where's the Chess Hall of Fame located? It's located in St. Louis, Missouri. So the Hall of Fame used to be in Florida, but it's located in St. Louis now. Okay, 2702. We're playing Jack. Let's play the Bishop's opening. Let's go knight f3. Hit the pawn. Go here. Trade some bishops. I'll just castle. This is actually a good example of why the Italian, because normally people play the Italian like, oh, it's very simple, just develop your piece, put the bishop on g5. But the problem is, if you get out of the opening, like you get to the position I have here, what do? Like, there are no open files. I mean, you can try to move the queen and bring the rooks to center, but again, it doesn't do a whole lot. So you have to, if you play the Italian, you have to understand when to like break in the center. Like I'm gonna go h3 to stop knight g4, bishop g4, and then I'm gonna go d4. But again, if you're newer to the game, this is not something that's intuitive at all. And you also have to calculate, and there's a lot of stuff hanging here. The pawns are both under attack from many different pieces, and you have to be able to count, I mean, all these different things. So that's why I think in general, when people talk about the Italian, I think it probably, in my opinion at least, is the worst opening for beginners to play, flat out. I just think it's easily the worst. Because if you don't win in the opening, you end up in some position where you have to really understand the nuances, and it's never going to make sense. If you're intermediate, it's okay, but as a beginner, you should not play it, because like even this, it's still very cloggy. No open files for the rooks here. And when you're new to the game, you really want open files, straightforward attacking plans on diagonals, pawns in the center. It's just a lot of, that's why the London, that's why for a true beginner, London is a much better opening. Much better opening. Here goes queen e6. I can obviously trade the pawns here. Takes. Let's play this one. Let's take. He takes. I take. Trade. I don't even know what's going on here. But again, we both have bad pawns. But his pawns, I think, are worse than my pawns because I have 3 connected on this side. I mean, you can get stuck in the London like any opening, but I just think in terms of like getting confused at the start of the game, it's much harder in the London as a as a true beginner than it is in other openings. Yeah, I have 3 connected. He has 3 connected too, but I have 2 stackers here that should be okay. Again, it doesn't mean it's great. I'll play knight d5 here. I'm trusting that these pawns are completely irrelevant. Of course, I forgot he could play b5. Now I guess I go a4. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but there are weaknesses here. Do I play atomic chess? We're gonna actually play some atomic chess a little bit later. Yeah. Would you stream other games? I mean, I've streamed some poker. I've streamed Genshin Impact, one of my favorite games. What else have we streamed recently? Marvel Snap, which I've been playing. I actually played Marvel Snap last night. I got really angry after a few games and I tilted off a couple of levels, so that didn't go so well. But I also play Fortnite as well, of course. Let's go a5 and knight b4 to hit the pawn on a6. Yeah, I got tilted, so I just started cubing, and because there's this ridiculous game where final one I was leading on all 3 spots, and the guy played Swarm on the last card, and I lost. I was very angry, very angry. I can go knight c7 here, I think, because this pawn is what matters, and now the bishop is kind of clumsy. Let's go here. Not that this is particularly brilliant by me either, but yeah, what am I even doing here? Yeah, this is, I wonder if this is actually a draw or not. Let's go here and here. This probably is still a draw with perfect play, but yeah, let's see. I suspect this is still a draw with perfect play, but it's this is actually a very interesting end game. Let's take and go here. I'm down a pawn and I have double stacks, but it should be a draw, I believe. Now I could play f5 here. I don't think it's the right move. I'm gonna go here to hit the pawn. Okay, but now I do have f5, and now I can also go like, I think I can play, maybe that was a mistake actually. Let's go here, offer the trade of the pawns. I think this is still okay because I can take and check on g6. Goes here. Oh, okay, now this is an easy draw. I could try to flag him, but I don't think it's appropriate. This is actually a theoretical draw with the check. Rook h8 not precise, but still. Actually, maybe I did mess this up now. Maybe this is, I think I go here and this is still a draw because I've, oh, maybe not. Wait, let's check. If I check, he has king g1 takes h4, which is winning, so I think I just make the draw. Yeah. Thanks so much to Mianwa. First 2 openings chess teacher taught was one variation of Spanish, one variation of Italian. We got destroyed. No, I don't think they're good start openings. Like, I'm gonna play the Grand Prix. This is what I played against Sicilian, and the reason that I played it, or the reason my stepfather taught it to me, is because it's very simple. You develop the bishop to c4, b5. Okay, this is the first step, depending on the placement of like the knight and the pawn. So this is the first step, very straightforward. So I'm gonna go bishop b5. Now, of course, not exactly the perfect way to play this, but you'll see why. So I take, and now, as my stepfather taught me, if your opponent lets you trade and black has the double pawns, now you go e5 here, and after d5, black has these weak pawns here in the center. So now you just castle. I'm gonna play d3 here. Thank you, Enzo Teixeira, Mind Athlete. Thank you, Miss Charm as well. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to go here, put pressure on this double pawn that's very weak. There are no pawns to support this. So when your opponent gets these double pawns, you play c4 to fix the weakness here permanently on this square. Permanent weakness because you can't push anymore. And like this was just a basic theme I learned from the Grand Prix, that if your opponent gets these double pawns where you can blockade it like this, you go b3, bishop a3, you win the pawn, and you should win the game. And that's a theme. That's not like, it's not like, oh, you play this move to respond to that move specifically. I'm going to go b3 to overprotect, but also I'm preparing to go bishop a3 and just win this pawn. Now I'd love to go here, but then I hang knight e3 with a fork, so right now I can't do it. So I'm going to play queen e1, guard this square, and then I'm going to go bishop a3, win the pawn. And his bishop is really bad as well. Look at this bishop. It's a very, very bad bishop behind this whole pawn wall here. Hikaru is a stepfather. Yes, you guys, he's been teaching chess for the last 50 years basically. I love when you explain things. Well, I mean, what I'm explaining here, this is one of the reasons of Grand Prix, like it wasn't about specific memorization of moves. It's basically understand themes. Like if your opponent lets you take on c6, you try to play against these stacked pawns and win the pawn. There's just one such example. There are many more, but it's one basic example. He has videos on the St. Louis YouTube channel. He showed a Hikaru game of one. Yeah. Okay, now he goes knight d4, which is a pretty reasonable move. So if I take, that sort of undoubles the pawns. Now I am going to take, so now I'm going to use a slightly different theme. I'm going to show you guys a different theme. I'm not going to be winning by a pawn anymore here, but what I am going to do is this bishop remains very, very bad. He'd love to go c5 and open the scope, but I cover the square with the queen and the knight right now. So I'm going to put the queen here and knight. I'm going to go with the knight. Both are good, but I'm going to put the knight here. Goes bishop c8. I can take, but actually if I take, he takes, and then his bishop has scope, so I don't really want to allow it. So I'm just going to play b4 to overprotect the knight on c5. Okay, f6, he's trying to release a little bit. I'm just going to go rook e1 so I can take with the rook or the pawn. So he takes, I take back, go here. Now my knight comes in as well, and again he's just got this really, really bad bishop that is not doing anything. Rook d4. Now I can take with the pawn or the knight. Both moves are good. I really kind of want to take with the knight just for the themes, but I think I'll just take with the pawn. It's a little bit better. Again, still a very, very bad bishop here, and I'm just gonna go rook f2 and gobble this pass pawn and move or two. Am I taking part in the Armageddon tournament in Germany? No, I'm not, you guys. Just take and take. It's just too far to travel for like a tournament that frankly is very much about variance. He goes queen f7, so his bishop is coming into the game eventually here. I can't really play a perfect themed game, but that's life. You can't get everything you want in life. So actually maybe you can. I'm gonna go g4 g5 and knight d6 here, because now the pawn is guarded on f6 by this pawn. That's why I started pushing p. He has queen a7, which of course I missed naturally. I guess I'll go here to trade the queens. Now his bishop got active at the end of the day, but my knight is so gigantic on d6 here, and my rook is coming in to the party as well. Go here. This is very, very bad. Just rook g7 and knight f7 and takes. Checkmate. But yeah, some of these Grand Prix themes are in my stepfather's book. And I'm gonna play I'll play a Sicilian this game. This is actually not I mean, I did play a Sicilian a little bit, but okay, he goes g3. Yeah, I'm gonna play g6, bishop g7, play d6 here, very standard so far. Okay, c3. Now I'm gonna play e5 to try and take away the center here. Good morning, Thanos Hikaru. Yeah, it's a Sicilian Grand Prix lesson from page 195. Are you for real? Seriously? You're like, oh yeah, it's from the Grand Prix lesson, page 195. You need to get a life, dude. You really need to get a life. Jesus. I'm gonna go knight d7. I'm gonna play b5 to break this chain. Yeah. Do I think RNJ will reach 2100 next month? I don't know. Let's go here. Try to put pressure, more pressure here in the center, or sort of it's a mix of the center, not completely. But I'm gonna castle here. I could always trade, but if he trades, my bishop becomes really active, so I don't mind the trade. I think there's a Mount Prime for the 10 months. Where do you think you will be in the next 5 years? I don't know, you guys. I really don't know where chess is going. Very, very hard to judge. Now this is a terrible move because he just opens up the scope and he fossilizes himself for no good reason, just like the people of Pompeii. So now the rook on a1 is hanging. That should be game over. So really, really bad. All right, he goes bishop b2. I can trade and just take the knight on e3. I think maybe just take right away and just take. Too soon? What's too soon? Take. What's too soon? I don't know what you mean. Just take the pawn. Pompeii jokes are too soon. Pompeii was 2,000 years ago, you guys. Let's not pretend. It was 2,000 years ago. Come on. Although it is pretty horrifying for those of you guys who actually are into that stuff. Like, I remember reading, when was it? It was a while back, but I remember reading one of those, like some translated version of the text of what it was Pliny, right? Pliny the Elder, who I think gave those firsthand accounts of what happened in Pompeii. And it's pretty horrifying to read some of that stuff. Pretty horrifying. Let's go queen e7 and f6 or knight f6. Spoilers, yeah. Pompeii was what, 79 AD, right? Pliny the Elder is a great IPA. I wouldn't know. Maybe it is. There's an IPA called Pliny the Elder. Really? Let's go rook b8. I can play h5. I can also go knight h6. Let's just go h5 here. Yeah, it's very good. Okay. Yeah, I give you guys some deep historical stuff and you come up with some silly beer. Let's take and play knight h6 here. I can play rook b4, maybe just put pressure on the pawn here. As a German beer is deep historical stuff. That is true. That is true. That is true. Beer in Germany is like from what, like is it like 1200s? It's around that time period, I think. I'm gonna go here, stop him from checking. Oh, he's got rook f6. It's kind of scary, actually. I gotta be a little bit careful how I do this. I'll go here on king h7, take the pawn, play c4 a4. It's all very good. Yeah, I'll go here. If h6, I have knight e5. I just have to be a little bit careful. I'm just gonna start pushing p because this pawn should be too much. Actually, I think I should cut him off with this move. Take away the last rank, and then again, I just push the pawn. Go here. I cover the square with my rook. I think I'm just winning with a3, a2. Rook behind the pass pawn. If you could be a GM in any other game like Overwatch, League, etc., what would it be? That's an interesting question. If I could be really good in any other game, what would it be? What would it be? What would it be? I don't know. Cards, I feel like card games are different. Card games are in a different kind of thing. Okay, let's play the birds. No, I don't know. I don't know what it would be. No, I don't want to put in card games. Golf, I mean, I love golf. I'd love to be great at golf, but golf is a sport that's different. Let's play e3 here. Probably if I had to pick, it would be something that's shooter related. It probably would be. I'd probably say like Apex. I think I'd say Apex probably. Apex or CSGO, one of the two. I'm not a big fan of Escape from Tarkov, no. Oh, it's my move, sorry. Let's play bishop b5. One of the two. Okay, now again, I'm gonna give my pawn these isolated double stack pawns, but this is a little bit different because of the structure, so it's not quite the same. Play d3 here, try to build the same structure, although it probably won't work. Let's take. If he takes, I just go queen e2. He takes, I guess I go to e2. I don't know which square is right. Fortnite is, I mean, I like Fortnite, but But Fortnite's glory days are long gone. Now I don't really want to trade. I guess I'll go e4 here. I'm just gonna move my king out, try to manually castle my king here. Go here. And now I go here. The idea is that with the king on e1, he has a queen a5 check that wins materials. But now I go knight c2 to trade off this very gigantic pony on e3. Let's go rook c1 to guard. Although actually I'm not threatening anything, so if I take, I lose the rook. I think I'll go here to trade off the queens. Now my queen also guarded by the knight. Queen guards the rook. Knight threatens to capture the knight, and it's all good. No, I mean, I don't dislike Fortnite. I do like it, but I mean, being great at Fortnite, I don't know, just not the same thing. Thank you so much, Chess MD, for the 15. Shift him drunk for the prime. Made a Regan Payne for the prime. Valorant, I mean, again, Valorant is Valorant. Redneck Anthem, maybe. He goes queen b2, but wait. If I take, he takes my queen, and then he takes. I can also play h3. I can also go like knight e1. It's a weird position. I can also play like knight e1 here, maybe. I think I'm gonna go knight e1 because everything is still holding together very neatly. And I'm assuming his pawns are like not ideal here. So let's take. Tetris is lit. I mean, I like Tetris, but Tetris is Tetris. Goes a5. Of course I will kick the bishop out of town here. Question is, do I play knight c2 or not? Because a4 is coming in very fast. So I think I'm gonna play a4 and just lock the queen side basically, and then I'm gonna go knight c2 here, and then king f2 and force him to trade off the knight. League of Legends, I mean, I like League, but it's, you know, it's League. Actually, maybe I should not have done this. Okay, let's go here and rook e1. The knight was kind of stuck, but it was hard to play around the knight as well. Okay, I guess I'll go here to guard and rook e4 maybe. And we can trade. I can also trade and go like knight e4. I can trade and go knight f3 to hit the rook. I know I'm actually better here, but I have rook e2 because if takes I have that, so he has to trade. Pawn structure is not all that great for black. Actually, his pawns are kind of misplaced, although all my pawns are on white squares, same colors as bishop, so he's probably okay. Have I ever been to Egypt? No. Okay, but now I go here because bishop f5 I hit him with g4, and if he loses this pawn on c5 to the fork, it's game over basically. How about Rust? Let's check take. I assume I'm winning here because I can create some kind of outside pawn on the queen side is my guess. Well, I try Honkai. I did download that game recently, but I didn't check it out yet. Now I can go b4. Trying to think about how this endgame goes, but I'm gonna make a check instead. Don't want to go c5. I'll go back. I'm gonna sack a pawn here and go here. Go here. I have king g5 ideas at some point. Go here. Well, that's a blunder because that just hangs a pawn. Now the question is, how do I win this? So it's still very tricky. I think this wins though. So I have king e5 and I have a fork. And if he doesn't, I take with the king and I just win the game. Can I say what page this endgame is in Mueller's endgame? Yes, chess lover, if you actually have that somewhere, sure. But again, I don't believe this endgame is in Mueller's handbook. Thank you so much to Herexley for the prime, Red Knight STF for the prime, and Mister's in the house for prime. Thank you, Tin Toll for the prime as well. Appreciate it. Okay, f4, play solid, d5, just keep it simple. So hoping I play some more of the higher rated players, but it is what it is. Still playing Chesley. Yeah, I could do a ranked duel as well later on. Now we're gonna now he goes bishop b5. I don't want to let him stack the pawns on top of each other, so that's why I'm playing bishop d7 this game. How many games have I played on this website? Too many. What languages can you speak? I speak American, of course, obviously, like everybody in the entire world. I can play d4 here to break the center, so I speak oh, he can take on c6, which I just forgot existed. Yeah, that, and what else do I speak? I can speak some Spanish, some Italian, the usual stuff, like any typical non-American. What am I even doing? This position is so bad, I have these terrible pawns, but it's life. This castle, I'll just drop back and trade. I mean, this is not exactly what I want, but it's something to do. I guess I'll go here to hit the pawn. Don't even know if it makes sense, but maybe I keep an eye on this pawn a2. Bro, I speak United Kingdom. Yes. Now I can actually gobble, but then bishop c3 and I get my queen trapped here with rook a1 coming in. Name 3 African countries. I mean, that's pretty easy. Very easy. Which 3 do I name? There's, of course, there's like Ghana, South Africa, Libya is Africa technically. You of course have Egypt. You have you've got Togo, Benin, Oman. Oman actually is not Africa. I think I said South Africa. You have Lesotho, you have Botswana, Nigeria, Chad, of course. Who can forget about good old Chad, and many other countries too. Yeah, so let's play rook d5. I will trade and go rook b8 and hit the pawn on b3. Yeah, Chad of course is the most famous country in Africa. Let's play knight e8 here. Go queen b6. I can also take the pawn. Yeah, there's one country I didn't name on purpose, as you guys obviously realize. I'm gonna go queen a7. I don't know, b7 maybe is better, but whatever. Yeah. I can play bishop f6 here. Position's pretty garbagey. I'm gonna go f6 instead. Yeah. Burkina, yeah, there's Burkina Faso, there's of course Cote d'Ivoire, there's all kinds of other stuff too. Morocco, I forgot about. There's Morocco. There's also, is Tunisia is Africa, right? Or not? I think Tunisia is Africa, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, Tunisia is. Okay, let's play rook d8 here. Let's just take with the queen or the bishop here. I'm going to take with the bishop to keep an eye on this pawn. I have a very bad knight, by the way. You notice this knight is really misplaced here, so I have to be very careful how I do this. Now I could take, of course, if I want. I can also just go queen a7 to laterally hold the pawn here, but my knight is so bad. I need oxygen for this horse. I'm gonna go g4. Very risky move, but I think it's okay, because now I can go like knight g7 and knight f5, and now my knight has oxygen at least. Or it did have oxygen, but now I just blundered the pawn, and I'm probably gonna just lose this game. Yeah, that was a very bad move by me. Go here. I guess I go here. Yeah, this was very poor. There's g3. I guess I'll just drop back. Whoa, he forgot his check. He just fossilized himself. For no reason. Oh, very poor. He should have won this game, but then he fossilized himself like the people. Yeah, I'm not gonna make that joke again, but yes, let's play 93. I bought Gotham's course and I lost 200 elo. What should I do? That feels like a troll, but it happens. I will just trade and go, I don't know, c5 here. I mean, the one thing that I would say though in general about like not even courses really, but just in general, like for teaching, is that people do need to realize there is no like one size fits all. No matter what it is, like everybody learns differently. It doesn't matter whether it's chess or you know, school stuff, whatever it might be, but everybody learns differently. And so when everybody learns differently, you do have to realize that there is no like one size fits all. Does he think he can survive here? He might think he can survive. Okay, connect 5. Classic connect 5. Very, very, very beautiful connect 5 too. Very beautiful. Let's play c5. Play some kind of opening. This man wants to be checkmated by 3 queens by Hikaru. It's his dream. Okay, dude. Okay, thank you. Oh, whoa. What is bishop e3? Go here, knight f6, knight d5, I guess. Oh, this game's not going to count. There's not enough time left in the arena. Oh, I just hung b7, although I have knight e4 maybe. Did not expect that. Now I target the knight. Take. I'm gonna play some new age hippie chess by lifting the rook here and putting pressure on this knight. I even have bishop a6 to really start putting huge heat on him here. Just massive pressure that he can't deal with. Go here, go after this pawn. Oh, did I just hang rook b8? I did actually, but I'm still gonna win. I was there no checkmate somewhere in here. Check. Oh wait, that doesn't do anything. Why did I do that? Go here. I'm gonna go here and try to take the pawn. Somehow I mess this up, but I've got so many pawns, so many pieces around my king that I should be okay. Let's take. I've got a triple. I've got all these pawns. I guess I'll go here and like queen b2 or something. Queen b7 feels a little bit scary for him to play. I do this. Maybe I just go here. Here on king b5, I guess. Wow. A check. The king h5, so I can play queen f3 here. These are just Hari for the 4 and Zats as well. I guess it's just a draw, right? You can go king h6 though. Let's go here, I guess. Oh, did I just blunder queen b7? Still no mate though. Check. Bishop d4 maybe. It's just a draw probably. He's 2000. Yeah, he played a good game. Yeah. Happens. All right, so game ends, the arena ends. I'm gonna take a short break, use the restroom. We're gonna come back. Let me log on my main account, by the way, and then we will play some variants. Yeah, we're gonna play Atomic, I think. Let me log out, log in.